Hello, Devils fans. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of The Devils You Know. And you know what that means. When it's Season 2 here, it's Season N in the NHL. And, yes, I'm going to be lowering that background music. Oh, it's not even on loop, so I will put it on loop and then lower it. All right, so what we're doing today is a little bit different. When I started the Devils You Know over the summer, my friends, nothing's going on. We have this seemingly idiotic general manager who says, hey, we're going to sign Luke Hughes. It's the first thing on my list. Now the whole team is at training camp except for Luke Hughes. Let me know how you feel about Luke Hughes not being at training camp. I don't believe that he deserves to play in game one. I don't even know where to go here. The first 10 games, give him a tenth, almost a tenth of the season, no, more than a tenth of the season. Yeah, actually a tenth, about a tenth. Give him 8 games if he does sign, where he's suspended. He can't play the first 8 games of the season. And he needs to be at every practice. He needs to be the last one off the ice. And he definitely needs to not miss any meetings. He can't be sitting there doing interviews about his favorite ice cream like they would, like a Joe Biden or, I'm not trying to be political. That's the first person who thought about ice cream. We don't need to be hearing about what kind of pizza they like, if they like pineapples on their pizza. It's irrelevant. So anyway, back to the point. Season 2 of the Devils You Know is different. As the season gets started, I change. Because I do history and trivia, of course, I will continue to do that. It will be part of every episode, but when the season starts, I'll be talking about the games, the players, who's bad, who's good. You'll be getting segments from the Taylor Hall of Shame, which we've seen before. I've done many Taylor Hall of Shame episodes on Fitz. So he's the one who I did last time. And now before I even get into, because we're going to watch a little bit of today's press conference with Sheldon Keefe and Fitz, but if you go on X, and I'll talk about if you don't have X in a second. I have a giveaway. I'm partnered with Fanatics. We're giving away a Jack Hughes premium home red Devils jersey. All you have to do is go on to X and literally, go like and repost. This is the post here. Let me see if I can move it up a little bit. Seems that I decided to lock it. I don't know why. Whatever. You don't need to see much more. This is the giveaway post. If you go to the post, give it a like, give it a repost, and you have entered to win the jersey. The jersey will be sent directly to you from Fanatics. It's not in my house. I don't have it in my drawer, my closet. They are going to stitch it up and send it to you. The one thing I haven't mentioned on X at all, which you can only hear here exclusively, is that I had to go back and forth, and I haven't gotten a straight answer about will there be an A on the jersey when it's sent, because they did say, hey, listen, it's got to be a Jack Hughes jersey. It can't. We're not. They didn't want to go into the we got a winner now. The winner picks what player they want and all this. They said here we're gonna provide a red home Jack Hughes jersey for you to give away. And you know what? I'm grateful that they're doing any of that. So it's cool. And and if you don't like Jack Hughes, enter to win. Get the jersey. I mean, not if you don't like him. I mean, if you're a Devils fan, you like Jack Hughes. He might not be your favorite. He's not my favorite. He's not even in my top 5 favorite Devils. But I still have 2 Jack Hughes jerseys, though. And if you win this jersey, one of the best things you could do, which I have done with my first ever white Fanatics premium jersey, is I had Jack Hughes sign the logo right in the N, right in the where the N goes. So it's like going down from the arch of the N, on the left side. Have him sign right down the middle there, put his number, and frame it. Perfect way to, if you don't want to wear the jersey. Well, if you get it signed, don't wear it anyway. If you get it signed by Jack Hughes, the only other person I would say to get to, if you had a chance, is to get another Hughes to sign it too. But for me, I have a Devil's Heritage, no, a Devil's Reverse Retro jersey signed by the whole 2023. The team that won the 40th anniversary team. I had signed by that whole team, including Tyler. Was Tyler Toffoli in that season? No, he wasn't. Tyler Toffoli's on another jersey. I have I have a Jesper Bratt red home jersey. Signed, all the logos on the front is signed by the whole team from the 22-23 season, and I had Bratt sign the back. Now I have, for instance, a Luke Hughes jersey. I have a red Hamilton jersey. I have a Jack Hughes reverse retro jersey. I have a Heritage, a Bratt Heritage jersey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Jesper Bratt sign that Heritage jersey. I'm going to have Dougie Hamilton sign that Hamilton jersey. And I don't know about Jack Hughes because he's signed enough for me. If he even sees me, he's going to say, bro, how many signatures do you need? I happened to work with him over at Fanatics Fest in June. So I have a little inside info on the Hughes brothers. I don't talk to them often, but I do have communication with 2 of the 3 of them, one of them being a Canuck. But either way, if you don't have X and you're not willing to make an account, please comment below on wherever you're hearing this. Comment, and I can add you. I'm just gonna need your email address or something like that. And if you win, then of course I'm gonna need your information to give to the Fanatics people so they can send you your jersey. I really do. I did ask them, isn't there some sort of code you can give me so they could just go on the website, put the code in, and then pick their size? That would be like, just so they don't, want. The thing is, I'm gonna see your information anyway. So you're giving it to me through, I've been thinking about this because some people don't want to do stuff like this, and I don't blame them. But through Devil's Joint, you're going to give me your address, P.O. Box, name. You give me a fake name. It doesn't matter. Give me a fake name. I just need an address to send it to. And, and then I give it to my boss. And my boss will have, because I don't have the authority to have merchandise sent to people. I have to give it to my boss. He has to put it through. So that's how that works. Either way, I'm going to know the person's, private information. I would never tell anyone or give it out, but we do ask that the winner make a post of some sort saying, hey, when they receive the jersey, of course, but you could thank me or Fanatics for winning, but when you receive the jersey, that's when we want to see it. We want people to know that this is a real giveaway. There's if you go on X, exposing fake giveaways at it won't be you. I think it's some underscores, like it underscore won't underscore whatever. They expose fake sports giveaways, and there's so many of them, just so many of them. So you know what? I've been talking a lot about that. So why don't we get to this stuff here? We're gonna go into a little bit of the press conference today.
No, I mean, both sides are. This is part of the process, We're
now. This is it. They're recording. They started late. he's been asked, what's going on with Luke Hughes? Now, listen to this bullshit, wind around, dance around answer. Watch the facial expressions of both of them, depending on who's talking. When Keefe gets a question, you can see Fitz get very nervous about what Keefe's going to respond with, because he gets questions that you can tell he's deflecting from the answer, from the real answer, because his boss is next to him. But listen to this blabber of bullshit about Luke Hughes. This guy needs to be in training camp, and if a real GM was sitting there, he would have said, we need our players at training camp, and if they're willing to sit on their couch and play text message games with me and their agent, then maybe it's better off we trade them. And then, of course, I'm sorry, I'm saying this, I have some views on the Devils and their roster that people don't agree with and they don't like, but you're going to hear them. And you know what? Think about this. Luke Hughes does not want to be the shadow on the Devils. The shadow meaning Jack Hughes is the Hughes that people immediately think of when they hear the Devils. Now, Luke Hughes does not want to be in the shadow of his brother, especially because he's a defenseman. He's not in the same position. This isn't a Sedin Twins where they play the same line. They've been playing like that together forever. This is a situation where when Jack and Luke happen to be on the ice, they put blinders on and can only see themselves. So on the ice, I see it as a little bit of an issue. I feel like they would be contributing even more than they already do. Not saying they don't contribute, because they do very well, but they would be at a higher level if they didn't have a sibling on the ice. That gives you nerves. That gives you, I don't know the words to explain it, but if my brother was on my team, which that's happened in the past, some hockey team, not professional, of course not at the NHL, but when my brother was on my team and I'm a defenseman and he is a forward, we would always want to play like we would play in the street together. And like the other guys were like, hey guys, like, you know, I was wide open. And we see this with the Devils when Jack and Luke get together. They fumble. They start falling because all they could do is look for each other. It's not right. Now, tell me in the comments what you think of this. I'm going to use an example, just a good example of a team. Utah Mammoth, okay? The Utah Mammoth. Let's say the Devils make a trade with the Utah Mammoth. They send Luke Hughes over to Utah, bring in whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a hypothetical situation. Luke Hughes now is the king in Utah. If Luke Hughes leaves the Devils, goes to a team where there's no other Hughes on the team, he becomes the king of that team. He will become the king of the state. He will become the face of hockey in Utah if Utah was the team. And I think that's a great team for him to be moved to. And I think they have great prospects and great players that we could get back in return. The Devils have Luke Hughes, Seamus Casey, Saleyev, Nemec, and other defensemen coming up. Diot is coming up. This guy looked great. And now, of course, we're hearing Nason is injured, not starting the season. Shane LaChance, who could have taken the place of Nason, injured. Bobby Heenan, I'm going to call him. He's injured, too, to replace any defenseman. What a mess. So let's listen to this blabber.
Grinding through this together and presenting both sides stories and, you know, where we want to go with this and respecting.
Look at Keith's face. Just look at that face. He's like, oh, you fucking shithead. You know, it's not his job to get these guys here. Oh, he's wearing my... I have the black one of this. This is made by Fanatics. This one that Keith is wearing. I also have Aquafina balls. That's not the point. Point is, watch each other's faces when each other talks. Sheldon Keefe is probably not very happy with Tom Fitzgerald right now. He's probably, because we're not going to go through it all, but he says he needs the team at camp. He needs them there. Just because Luke Hughes played one season under Sheldon Keefe doesn't mean he's got the system down. He doesn't. He actually started in November with Pesci, who also is injured. They started in November last year. So he started off injured last year. Didn't come to camp. Isn't coming to camp now. He's on the couch while these guys are working their ass off.
And each other's opinions.
Utah. Luke to Utah.
But this is part of the process. Unfortunately, we're disappointed he's not here. I know he's disappointed.
He's not disappointed.
He's
He's fucking happy as fuck.
I was texting with him yesterday.
Look, he's sitting there texting with Luke Hughes. Okay? I know he has an agent, and he's got his brother in his ear saying, hey, they got me on this $8 million contract. I'm worth 11, even though I only play 55, 60 games. Whatever. He's got him in his ear saying, hey, you got to get the bag for us. But they also want to plan their contract so they can leave. And you know what? If they give Luke Hughes a 5-year deal, if this motherfucker in red, Tom Fitzgerald, gives Luke Hughes a 5-year deal so Jack and Luke Hughes can walk together, and they do, if they do, I'm going to come back in 5 years from now and tell all of you people who've doubted me, I told you so. They are not team players. They're not for the... As Lou Lamoriello used to always make sure that the team is playing for what's on the front of their jersey, not what's on the back. It doesn't matter if your brother, your sister, your dog, your uncle, or anyone, especially the neighbor that you've been having an affair with, is on the team. That's irrelevant. This team needs to win, and it doesn't seem like anybody but Sheldon Keefe sees that.
Knowing that we will get through this at some point.
At some point.
Just don't know when that point is.
Yeah. Wow. They're bringing back McLeod signed with the Canes, and Hart is gonna say, oh, those guys, right? They got a suspension. Legally they shouldn't be suspended they've already been suspended. They were taken out of the league. I had Mike McLeod on my fantasy team. Guy's the best face-off guy in the league, and he was at the time. And I was first place out of 20 teams in my fantasy league. After I lost McLeod, I ended up with the silver. If I had McLeod still, I would have ended up as the champ that year and won a bunch of money. Anyway, that's irrelevant. I don't like how Fitz doesn't care that these guys that Luke Hughes isn't at camp. This is very important.
Would you be able to speak to the sense of urgency on your side and how close it might be right now?
Every time he taps on the table, he's thinking of what kind of bullshit to spit. And then he says he's looking to extend Jacob Markstrom. I'm sorry. Jacob Markstrom is younger than me. I understand that. It's not the point. The point is, for professional hockey, he's already getting old for a professional hockey player. We have Yegorov. We have Dawes. We have other goalies that are good that need to get NHL experience. When you have Markstrom and Allen, and then you extend Markstrom away from the end of this season, and not let someone else play with Allen next year. Because Allen is a start. Allen can start. Allen can be the 1A while they have Yegorov sitting and playing 25, 30, even 35 games. Or Dawes, who can do it. We've seen him win big games. Stadium series, you might say, okay, they played the Flyers. But you also got to remember the Devils weren't a good team either. And they weren't that good. And a Stadium Series game is different than any other game. That's a different kind of pressure. It's a different atmosphere. And he was amazing in that game, and he deserves the credit for it. But Dawes has gotten screwed by this GM. Trade him. Let him go somewhere where he can play. There's plenty of teams. Seattle, San Jose, even LA, Anaheim, where he'll get NHL playing time. Give the guy his chance. He deserves it.
Well, right now, urgency-wise...
Look, if you can't answer the question about your urgency on signing, Luke Hughes, if you can't answer that question without tapping around and shaking your head and thinking, you're a mess. You're a mess. And it sucks to see. It sucks to hear.
Tomorrow's day 2 of
Yeah, tomorrow's day 2 of what?
training camp.
Training camp. Let's hear that again.
I mean, tomorrow's day 2 of training camp.
Right, so that's the second day that Luke Hughes is not in training camp. That's 2 days too many. Too many twos. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant.
And
I'm not going through this whole video,
I do believe
of course.
every day you lose, it is an impact on
Yeah,
a player.
it is.
So from our end,
Plus, he hasn't been in camp in 3 years.
There's urgency to get him here or to continue to strive to that common goal of getting a deal. And I believe on their end too, there's some urgency. So.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. July 1st. You've been talking to the guy since before July 1st. Why is this dude still laying on his fucking beanbag chair playing video games while Jesper Bratt, his brother, Captain Nico, you got Mark McLaughlin, who I love, you got Addison coming in, you got Chalowski out there, you got all these guys that... don't have the name. I just said some big names first, but I was getting to the point where these smaller names, they're out there ripping it up. Gritsuk, the new guys, Brown and Dadonov, they're there playing hard, showing what they can do, showing the coaches where they fit in the lineup and how they can help. We can't do that fully without the full team there. And it's not like, and later on, I'm not going to play that, but Sheldon Keefe, after getting kicked probably in the ankle by Fitz here, says, I just treat this like an injury, like the player's injured. Well, you know what? Last year, I'll give him that. He was injured. But now you got to think about this guy's playing games for the contract, and this will be the second training camp that he's going to miss. Since he's become an NHL player, he has not gone to training camp. He came in, he had his first game against Buffalo. I was there. Dougie Hamilton bobblehead giveaway. He scored in the next game in overtime against Washington. We went to the playoffs. He missed training camp. Played all season. Wait, am I a year behind? I don't know. Who cares? He wasn't in camp. He's not in camp for day 2, and he's not showing up for day 3. He's not even prepared to come to New Jersey for the camp. He's not in New Jersey. And if he is, tell me where, because I know he's not in New Jersey. He's actually in Florida. And it's very sad. Very sad.
His agent and I, who I have the utmost respect for, will continue to...
You shouldn't respect this agent who's playing games with your bald-ass head.
Push toward each other and knowing that each side has to continue to...
Why continue? I'm sorry, please go watch this whole thing on your own if you haven't. But why does this have to continue? Why? I'm going to take a screenshot of this because this picture's worth 1,000 words. Why do they have to continue? It has to end now.
Give.
I know you guys have like a hair over $6 million in cap space. Is this something where
all right,
have to clear
so
space before then?
Wait.
Whether that's trade or cap.
Just listen to the answer
to
here.
give.
I know you guys have like a hair over $6 million in cap space. Is this something where you're gonna have to clear space before then? Whether that's trade or LTIR?
No.
Let's just go back and listen to the question again.
Knowing that each side has to continue to...
And his answer is no to this question. So, for all you to dispel any rumors, listen again.
I know you guys have like a hair over $6 million in cap space. Is this something where you're gonna have to clear space before then? Whether that's trade or LTIR?
No. We've have figured this out and
You have?
what our wiggle room is.
You said last time you spoke that signing Luke would, pretty much impact what you're able to do for the rest of the season. Would you say that not signing did that hamper you at all in what you wanted to do?
Well, we will be signing.
Right.
Did you see? He's gonna deflect. We all know that he didn't make specific signings that he could have made or trades that could have been made because of this. He knows that, but he's going to deny it.
I'm saying before, I think you said that was
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the unknown of what a contract will look like for.
See, you see already, he's just going into word salad. This is what we want to know. Did this hamper or damper anything else that you might have done this summer? Was this issue above anything else where maybe there might be other players at training camp right now if Luke Hughes had already signed or if this wasn't an issue? That's the question that he won't answer. All right, let's move on to
just with the coaching staff. I mean, really.
Okay, this is
get it right. The second half.
You brought in Bradshaw to work with your defense. I'm just wondering, can you sort of give us an idea of what he's like, what he's been like?
All right, Amanda Stein with the usual questions,
some of the best
stupid questions.
And with Shazzy's ability and his defense.
Repetitive.
He's coached a long list of some of
last year that night in Vegas, and to see him
how important it was, to have depth and have our young players coming and pushing and
them yesterday and today saying that they really took the offseason seriously. How important is it to have guys like that to continue to
our whole D and team well? But
we're gonna go. You know what we're gonna go to? We're gonna change it up, and we're gonna go straight to my X account. Why did my microphone get changed? I'm sorry, guys. Let me just. Okay, microphone is back. All right, on my X account, you're gonna. This is Sheldon Keefe's quote here. This is what I wanted to play.
And from a coaching.
Watch Fitz as he answers this question. Watch his hand gestures. He's probably kicking his foot under the thing, like don't say anything, because you could see that Sheldon Keefe has to deflect from this question.
And from a coaching perspective, does the absence of Luke affect your business on ice?
Yes, it does.
Want to accomplish what you want to try to build
now,
the program here
go
in training
back.
camp?
I'm not a body language guy, but look at that big gulp he took, his throat. First, he got a cough from Fitzgerald. Not saying that meant anything, but you got the cough, which, if it was a few seconds later, would have told me he was coughing to tell him to not answer this question properly. But it's probably not the case. By the way, again, this jacket is just amazing. I suggest buying them. They're actually on sale right now on NHLshop.com. Sorry, I'm not getting into it. Now, again, he's going to deflect from this question. The answer is yes.
And from a coaching perspective, does the absence of Luke affect your business on ice and what you want to accomplish, what you want to try to build
Look
with
at
the program
Fitz's
here in training
hands.
camp?
no, I mean, I anytime something like this happens, we went through it last year with Mercer to start the training
Yeah, and
camp
how
as
great
well.
was and how good was Mercer starting the season last year?
As much as you're disappointed because you want all your players here. I mean, today's day one of training camp, but as I
Irrelevant.
just described with Gritzik, I mean, the guys have been here for,
See how Fitz taps and looks at him like, hey, you're saying too much.
the whole team for almost 2 weeks.
Look at that.
And they've been putting in lots of work. And today's the first day with coaches on.
Now he's picking his nails. These are all nervous anxiety movements, and like I said, I'm not a body language expert, but I do know a little bit about it, and it's very obvious at this press conference that one, they were both nervous because of the situation with Luke Hughes, and they knew that they were going to get slammed with those questions, and they know they don't have answers, and also they brought up some other stuff like Nason's out, and we lost Shane LaChance is injured, and so is the H guy, Bobby Heenan.
They've been doing a lot of work on the ice and getting ready and the camaraderie and all the things that come with it, so that you can have a great first day today when the coaches get out there. So you want everybody here for that time that's missed. You can't make that up. Then you're kind of playing catch up from the rest of the season, quite honestly. But
from a coaching perspective, does the absence of Luke affect?
So, I mean, if that doesn't just show you and tell you that these guys, that first of all, Sheldon Keefe is being persuaded to not say anything properly, right? Is sad. It's sad, and like I said, Shane LaChance and Haminaho, Lenny Haminaho, they're both injured now. So LaChance could have filled in a spot for Nason. LaChance would looked great in those prospect games if you saw it. I think he had 3 goals in 2 games. So one of them was like a lacrosse-style goal from behind the net. Excellent goal. Actually, let's look at those goals. Let's take a look at those goals. We'll go down my my page until we get to Lecomte, Jimmy Dowd to the box, Shane. All right, so here's one Shane LaChance.
Sit alive. Slides it for Haminaho. Out high for Edwards. Back to Haminaho. Right wing circle down low. They center. And the save is made. The puck is batted out of the air.
Haminaho gets the assist.
With the power play goal, have taken a 3-2 lead.
Squires also.
And it is Shane LaChance.
All right, so that's one Shane LaChance video. Who else do I got? Oh, this Yegorov Shane LaChance scores a sick goal. His hands are unreal.
He's getting that message out early.
Seamus Casey, of course, at right here.
In Utica, so he's getting that message out.
Now watch LaChance. He's a big guy in front, but he can skate, he can move, he's got the hands.
Can't settle now, does.
He can take those hits in front. Here, watch. Here he goes. Steals the puck. What's he gonna do?
LaChance
give it back
it out.
to Hami.
Haminaho.
Hami down to LaChance.
Circle down low.
Look at this.
Free,
Go!
and then they score from in tight. Wow, Shane LaChance, anytime I've seen him, his hands are special, and he just showed it there.
That was unbelievable, Matty. I hope we have that on video because
we do, because I recorded it.
That was a highlight reel goal. The puck bounces off the boards behind the goal, and it comes to Shane LaChance. He pulls it in front of him, pulls it behind him, and then from behind him, an impossible.
So that's just a little bit of Shane LaChance. I love this Devils group.
Maybe a little stick work there.
Haminaho, LaChance, Squires,
great stick check, just enough to nudge the puck.
Now back the other way. It's Went who scores.
Went.
Well, just like that. A missed opportunity, missed call on one end, and the Devils strike at the other.
Nice.
Great play here, great finish.
I like his name too. That looks good, Wentz. It looks good on a jersey, doesn't it?
Wentz coming down the center ice. Roosevelt's coming down the far end.
Roosevelt 53 also looks good on the jersey. I like that. But that Wentz 59, that stands out. What do you guys think?
Again, Wentz doesn't grab it, doesn't polish it. He just quickly whips it out the net.
This Devils prospect group, they won both of their games. This is from the Columbus game, but they played a better defensive team. Obviously, they won this game. They won 8-2, but they played a better team the next game, and they still won. Shane LaChance was amazing. So anyway, let me get that off my screen, and we'll end this episode. I really appreciate you guys listening to the Devils You Know, or watching in this case, or in either case, listening or watching. This has been a longer episode than usual, but that's probably how it's going to be. And please don't forget that you have the Jack Hughes giveaway on X, at Devil's Joint X. I'll put it up right now, right on the screen. If you go on X and you type in at Devil's Joint X, you will find my account. It's not hard to find. You could just type in Devil's Joint and my account will come up. You'll see the logo with the D and the J. Here, I'll do this. This is what we'll do. That's the logo. So thank you guys so much for listening, watching, And let's go Devils.